Mamas in Control, episode 213. All right, I am back, and I don't know if this is going to be the last podcast that I send you in 2017, but I think it's going to be, I don't know. And this is what I want to talk about today. So I've been wrapping up my work with my clients, looking at where I want to be next year, literally practicing what I preach. So going through my own material, own modules. We just did the aligned workshop, and good shit came out of that. How do you want to feel in your life? What do you want to do? And so many of us come from this place of, I'm doing this because. I'm doing this because my husband wants me to. I'm doing this because my husband wants to do that. I'm doing this because I'm supposed to. That's how people make money. I'm doing this because that's how I was taught to parent. I'm doing this because somebody told me to do this. What the fuck do you want? And when I started this podcast back in the day, I did it because I had this deep desire to share my voice. And to share my voice was because I just have a lot of resistance around writing, and I could talk and talk and talk for days. It's my medium. It's the way that I want to get across. And so every single time I do something, I do my best to do it from a place of my gut says yes. And the more I listen and talk to people, the more I realize that this gut yes is a rare occurrence. Why are you doing something? And I'm also not a huge fan of planning too far into the future. So I have ideas of what I'm going to do in my business next year, who I know the Mamas in Control Mastermind, which has been renamed into the Mastery Program, Mamas in Control Mastery Program. I'll still be launching that. I fucking love that program. I love the women that are coming into the program. And I'll be taking on a few one-on-ones for people who want to work with me one-on-one and it's a right fit. I may do retreats. I may not do retreats. The reason is because I got to listen to what I'm craving, where my heart is, what I desire, and the difference and the impact that I want to make in the world. And it has to come from this place of connection within myself, connection to my children, to my family, and leading my life from the inside out. And so the beautiful thing is the last few days I've been having these conversations with women going, what do you want in 2018? And they either have this aha clarity epiphany moment, or they're freaking out. They're freaking out going, oh my God, I don't know. Time is running out. I'm getting older. I thought I'd have my shit together by the end of 2017. There's this moment of kind of collision where you feel like you're being bottlenecked and you're like, oh my God, now I can't even think about this because the holidays are here and blah, 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 blah. Or my husband doesn't support me, or we don't have the money, or I don't have the time, and all of these excuses consume you. And so I was like, I don't know, just hit play. Let's see what the conversation is. And I was reflecting on this year and what has shifted. And I'm going to tell you one honest thing that has shifted is me practicing the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm going to give you an example. For the longest time, and, raise your hand if you've ever fallen into this category, not so much in my work, but in my private life, wanting to, when you're a coach or you're somebody that people look up to, you're chronically trying to lift other people up. The biggest thing that I've shifted this year is I've stopped lifting people who don't want to be lifted. So if somebody comes into my world and they're a chronic complainer and poor me, poor me, poor me, and I know that I can help them. I know that there's resources out there, but they give off this vibe that they're not willing to learn and to grow. I simply ask them, are you looking for a resource at this time? Are you looking for support? And if they say no, then I don't help them. I mean, it could be something as simple as people going, oh my God, I can't find a babysitter. And you're like, oh, well, my son can babysit your kids, or like, I know so many people that can help you out. Just let me know. But sometimes people don't want to change their excuses, because guys, what's underneath your excuses is possibility. And possibility is scary, believe it or not. But when you become determined to change your life and your circumstances, all else goes out the window. I remember this year not going to the gym because I felt guilty that my husband didn't want to go to the gym. So I couldn't work out physically because he didn't want to work out physically because, some fucked up story that I had in my mind. And then finally I caught the story and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start working out. And the guilt was still there. And what I did is I voiced it to him and he was laughing. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous that I think that, isn't it? So I kept eating better. I kept working out. I kept doing what I wanted to do. Of course, in alignment with, it wasn't just like I was running off and I'm like, bye, screw you. No, it was like, what do you want to do today? Okay, go do that. I'll go do this. Kids are fine, right? Guys, we sabotage our happiness and our success so much for other people, and it's just stories we're telling ourselves. And the truth is, if we turn it around and we tell ourselves, like, I am worthy of feeling good. I got this. The world needs you to be happy. The world needs you to be on fire. The world needs you to be on purpose, on your game. Because when you are, they're not over there trying to fucking figure you out. So this year, a few episodes ago, I had my husband on. So one of the big transitions was he quit his day job and he's a full-time entrepreneur now, which means we spend more time together at home, which also, yes, does mean that there is more freedom in childcare and all of that stuff. But there's light and dark to everything, right? So far, so good. But I've had people say, my husband doesn't support me, or he's not around that much. I'm going to be honest with you. If I was single, which some days I feel like it would be easier to be single. If I was single, or my husband worked 5,000 hours a week or worked out of town, I would have a live-in nanny. I would have a live-in nanny who's not raising my children for me, who's making my life easier so that I can be the mom that I want to be. This person would cook, this person would clean, and this person, may do the odd errand for me, pick up the kids, things like that. But when I'm with the kids, I'm all there. And I would probably be able to be more present than I am now. But the point is, we sabotage ourselves because we go, I can't do that. It's too expensive. And then we buy our children's happiness and love every year at Christmas time and overspend and go into debt and convince yourself that that's okay because you're trying to buy their love, you're trying to buy their happiness, or you overeat because you're stressed out. What are you doing? What the fuck are we doing? This is ridiculous. My issue now is I keep finding myself when I'm doing my journaling or my writing is stopping myself from going to the next level because other people are suffering. This is a thing I deal with as a recovering rescuer, that I'll be successful in one area of my life or something else, and then I see someone struggling or suffering with something that I used to struggle with, and regardless if they stay stuck or they're just in a processing period, it's really hard for me to witness suffering. Really hard. Because I know change is possible. And I know all of us can get to this place in our lives where we feel full. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, time, money, and energy. But we get in our way. We start telling ourselves excuses of why we can't have what we want, or how somebody's stopping us. And it's all bullshit illusions of the mind. And so, reflecting on this last year, I'm like, holy fuck. You can have whatever you want. That's my theme. When I look back and go, Heather, You did some good shit this year, and you should celebrate that. Lots of change has happened in your life. And I look at people who are stuck and I think, oh my God, you literally have the life raft right next to you. Pick it up. I now understand that true definition of your thoughts are your reality. Your energy is your currency. And manifestation, it's not some woo-woo shit. This is real world shit. But you gotta believe. You gotta dig deep. And more than ever this year, I found myself, because I'm like becoming obsessed with CrossFit. I was never a quote unquote athlete. And now I'm finding that inner athlete in myself and realizing the connection between grit and happiness and the pursuit of it and the importance of getting dirty and getting like really deep within yourself when you don't think you're capable of achieving something, and having the right support around you. A group of like-minded people around you that are going, come on, you can do this. And then when you achieve something that you once thought was impossible, that is freedom. Because you've just pushed yourself beyond a limiting belief. You've pushed yourself beyond your capabilities. You are possible. You are possible. Shit, it happens all the fucking time. Parenting is hard. Life is hard. I get it. It's fucking hard. But you're also very capable of making it feel easy. The only thing that's getting in the way from you and that thing is your belief. That's it. Your belief and the story you tell yourself about it. Well, it must be easy for Heather because... Well, it must be easy for her because... But she doesn't know. My child is, my husband is, but money, I grew up like this with money. We all did. We all have our stories and we all have our shit. It's just who you want to become. Who you want to become. And so my shift that's happening in the new year in 2018 is, like I said, this year I've really let go of a lot of energy work of trying to build people up who don't want to be built up, who love being addicted to their excuses. And I'm okay with that. I'm learning that everyone has their process. I'm not God. I'm just a coach, a leader, a guide. Can't do the work for people, but I can guide them to do the work for themselves, to dig deeper. I can hold their hand. I can hold their hair back. I can say, you got this, one more rep. You got this, one more rep. Keep going. Keep going. But Heather, I can't. I don't want to. Come on, you got this. Keep going. So in 2018, not my message is shifting. The women that I will be working with are shifting. These are women, and so I'm just declaring it out loud. These are women who want more in their lives, and they're willing to do the work to get there. They're so done with their excuses. They're so done being overwhelmed, overworked, exhausted. They see the future. They see divorce in their future if shit doesn't change. They see their health deteriorating at a very rapid rate to the point that, maybe they're not going to be around very long for their children. They see how their stress is being projected onto their children, and they're seeing how their children are reflecting that back to them. And I'm working with women who are ready to thrive, ready to feel abundant, ready to create more resources in their life to create a sustainable life for themselves. So with that declaration, I want to ask you, who are you going to become next year? And what are you willing to do to become uncomfortable to make shit happen. Because I can be uncomfortable for 10 minutes and that might feel like the end of the world. But that 10 minutes that I was doing something hard to get me to the next evolution of my being, to be more in alignment with the universe, with God, with source, whoever, with my soul. Oh my God, on the other end of that 10 minutes, I feel amazing. So I can take 10 minutes of extreme discomfort and push through that, or I can be chronically angry and depressed and overwhelmed and exhausted for the rest of my life. Choose one. Choose one. And I hope you choose the path that gives you freedom. I really do. Because when I look at my children's eyes, when I look at their eyes, when I look into their eyes, and my son tells me, Mom, this is really hard. I can't do this. I can connect with him on a deeper level and go, I get it, buddy. And I'm going to hold your hand. And I'm going to walk you through this discomfort. And I'm going to be here for you. But I can't take your pain away. And in order to become the person that I know I gave birth to, you got to do the fucking work. So this is my little kick in the pants for 2017. Hopefully it wasn't too depressing for you. Little aha slap in the face moment. If you're interested in working together next year, I'm going to be offering some one-on-one. I'm offering the mastery program. Head on over to my website or just send me a personal email and reach out and we'll get on the phone and chat. Most likely we're not going to get on the phone until after Christmas, but I'll send you a link to my website, a link to my calendar, and we'll just connect. I want to hear where you're at in your work, in your career, in your marriage, with your children, with your money, your time, your energy, and whether it is a day intensive or whether it's a few sessions to get you off the ground, or whether you need a deep dive. We'll figure it out. So yeah, actually just send me a personal email, Heather@HeatherChauvin, so last name spelled CHAUVIN.com, and let me know where you're at and what type of coaching you're looking for. That said, make this holiday fun. Don't look back on last year and go, shit, that sucked. We're chronically improving. So how can you, right? Put on your how can I hat and go, how can I say no to something? How can I just go to the fucking store and buy cookies? If baking is not your thing and you're like, oh my God, this sucks the life out of me, just go buy the fucking cookies. Or if you love baking, bake more of it and then eat all the fucking cookies. And then go for your walk or your run. Let's live more and worry less. Let's make this simple. Let's be minimal. Let's be grateful. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for being you, for listening to me with my rants and my tears and my aha moments and my imperfections. More of that to come. Next year, I'm working on a book proposal. And actually not even next year, in the next few months. And yeah, just, simplifying. So everyone's going to be going through the mastery program, be working with them one-on-one, see where, the wind takes me. Really love the flow of what works for me. Who do I want to work with? How do I want to feel in my everyday life? Because I've tried the contrast where it's from a place of not in alignment within myself and it doesn't feel good. And then you become angry and resentful, and that's not a place to be. So you are magic and you can create your own magic. Talk soon.